So, for those of you who don't know, Nintendo is probably the most litigious company on earth at the moment. And they're way worse than Apple. They are going super duper hard to protect their IPs. Not a week ago, they were suing Power World for using game mechanics similar to Pokemon. And then there was a lovely video, which actually I might as well bring it up right now. So this is Astrobot, and this is them stealing various mechanics from various Nintendo games, such as flying into the world like Kirby, skating on ice like Mario, fighting giant beasts in sand-like creatures. We got over here. What's the swimming one? The swimming ones are probably one of the better ones. We find the swimming one. Let's find swimming. Why can I not find the swimming mechanics? Oh, this one's a good one too. And just like Bowser, we spin, we throw. So, you know, Astrobot's gonna get sued any moment now. Any moment now. Here's the swimming stuff. So here's Mario with his shell. Spin about. Here's Astrobot swimming in the ocean, getting move speed boosts. You know, same game, guys. Same game. Better suit him. There was the sand here. Look at him. He fell into the sand. His feet are all dangling in the air. Oh, look at that. His feet are dangling in the air, just like Mario. We got at the very end here. Let's just back it up. The stuff falling from the sky. Yep, you know, patented now. And this is Astrobot falling asleep. Mario falling asleep, you know. So the Nintendo can't really patent game mechanics, and if they are going to go after patenting game mechanics, they can't just, you know, go after Power World. They're going to have to go after Sony, and Sony's pretty fucking big company. Sony's bigger than Nintendo, so that'll be an interesting lawsuit. Not only are they going after people that are showing, you know, copyright infringement, you know, copying game mechanics like Power World, they're now going after people that show games being emulated on devices. Whether they be like fan-made devices like this, or more realistically, the new Zelda game being shown on emulated devices like the Steam Deck. Which is pretty ridiculous. So here's the guy talking about his experience over on X. Hi friends. It does appear my worst fears are true, and that I am specifically targeted by Nintendo. My Wii U video was taken down. I received another copyright strike, even though this showcase video was no different than all the other tech demos and reviews I've made on the channel previously. I'm still considering a counterclaim under fair use, as the video was for educational use, transformative in nature, and had no effect on the market. It was a demonstration of a console no longer for sale. Even the Wii U eShop is closed, so the company itself has no means of earning revenue from Wii U sales. However, I am reluctant to open a can of worms like that, because a multi-billion-dollar corporation, as the next step, would file legal action against me. So they're going after creators. Luckily, I'm too small. I'm going to fall through the cracks, as you would expect. But that's not all. Popular Nintendo Switch emulator Ryujinx shut down amid crackdown from Nintendo. So what happened specifically is what's in here. Yesterday, GDK-chan was contacted by Nintendo. GDK-chan is the lead developer of the Ryujinx emulator, and was offered an agreement to stop working on the project, remove the organization and all related assets he's in control of. While waiting for confirmation on whether or not he would take this agreement, the organization has been removed, so I think it's safe to say what the outcome is. Rather than leave with you only panic and speculation, I decided to write this short message to give some closure. These words are my own, I do not speak for anyone else here, so just a reminder that while reading, thank you to everyone who's contributed code, documentation, or issued reports to the project. Thank you all for following us throughout the development. I was able to learn a lot of really neat things about the game that I love. Enjoy them with renewed qualities and unique circumstances I'm sure you all have experienced that are similarly special. I'm extending my own massive thank you to our moderation team who has been here throughout some rough circumstances and always found ways to make light of it. So what does this mean? It means Ryu Jinx, the second biggest Switch emulator, has been taken down, and about 6 months ago, Yuzu was sued into being taken down by Nintendo themselves, and they had to literally pay Nintendo money so that that emulation was taken down because they were found in fault in a legal court, which is why Yuzu doesn't exist. So we now no longer have an active development emulation of the Switch console. Now that's not a huge, massive issue today, because today the Switch still exists. We can still buy Switch hardware, we can still buy Switch games, but 4 years from now, 8 years from now, 20 years from now, the Switch will not be sold. Probably next year we're going to get a Switch 2, and there is a very good chance that the Switch 2 does not support Switch 1 games. It's not entirely truthful. There's a very good chance that it will support Switch 1 games, and I hope it does support Switch 1 games, but Nintendo's track record on backwards compatibility between consoles has been abysmal. The Switch cannot do Wii U games. The Wii U could do Wii games, but it couldn't do GameCube games. The Wii could do GameCube games, but it couldn't do Nintendo 64 games. The GameCube could not do Nintendo 64 games. Nintendo 64 could not do SNES games. The SNES could not do NES games. They have a terrible track record when it comes to backwards compatibility of their consoles. Their backwards compatibility is to give you the same product barely functional on the next system, which is what happened with the Switch Online service, where they made people pay monthly and yearly subscriptions to get access to NES games, SNES games, Nintendo 64 games, but not the entire catalog. No, just some select ones, and they'll sprinkle in 1 or 2 every couple of months to say, oh look, we're still working on this. Back in the Wii U and Wii, their Nintendo eShop had a much larger catalog available for purchase and playable than the current Switch has. It is abysmal what Nintendo is doing for backwards compatibility, for game preservation. That's why emulators are so important. And when they take down Ryu Jinx, Yuzu, and they take down people who are just showing off games being emulatable on various devices, it is showing that they really do not like preservation of video games. They'll say they will. They even release and launched a massive Nintendo museum that has a lot of historic data of all the great things that Nintendo has done over the years, but we at home cannot access that ability to enjoy those things. They are locked into a museum, and that's how Nintendo wants it, locked behind sheets of glass that we can only look at but not actually experience. And if they will deign their privilege to allow us to see and touch these Nintendo games, is completely up to them. Nintendo has been ridiculous in the last 24 hours. Absolutely ridiculous. Anyway, enough of talking about Nintendo. Let's go play some Nine Cells. Something that is more enjoyable than talking about Nintendo anyway. I had to get it off my chest. I mean, it's annoying. I wish Nintendo wasn't this way. I wish they would just go, hey, here's Switch 2 hardware. It's backwards compatible. They still haven't shown Switch 2. It's been 8 years. They should have done a console announcement and showcase of the console 6 months ago, a year ago. They should have had a pro version of the Switch console 4 years ago, because the Switch console can barely play the games that are currently on it. That's why everyone is emulating every single game Nintendo releases, because their console just is not capable of doing what is necessary. Far out, Nintendo. Just do your job, release some games that we like, and put them on a console that's actually competent. And if you can't make a competent console, put it on PC. Put it on Steam. Let people play the games legally. We don't want to emulate your games. You're forcing us to. And when you keep going after emulation like this, it just forces us to go down deeper and deeper rabbit holes in order to do this stuff. We don't want this. This is you doing this, not us. Alright. Back to the show.